Shout out to everybody here on this early morning live. Hope you're having a wonderful day out there in this crypto land. I have to go see a surgeon from like 10:45 to probably like 11:30, something like that, because of my leg. That was the best thing they could give me. So I am early. I love you. I do not like missing my time. It really gets me going. But it is what it is. I have my leg to save. I love you all. Thank you so much. We'll be live in 8 minutes. I got you. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, baby! I'm excited. I got the new SMB7 in the mail this morning. This thing is the best mic you can buy. This mic's just as good, and I got the Sony EV10 Mark II or whatever. I'm rocking, man. I got more cameras, more lenses. We got the Sigma. We got a new Canon camera here for you guys. I'm beefing up this show with heavy artillery, if you know what I'm saying. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Bitcoin, 78,350. I opened up the trade last night. What's happening? I'm down 90 beans. This has been so boring. This trade's been open since the stream yesterday. That's at 24 hours. Bitcoin has done absolutely nothing. It's gone Sid's way. We call it Sid's way, sideways for Bitcoin. And that's just, sorry. I can't stand when I just can't even do one thing. Take off I gotta open up my window. It is so hot in here. And I need some nice breeze on my face, man. I tell you what, it hurts to put, I can't believe it. It hurts to put on, sorry about those squeaks. It hurts to put on my pants. My leg is so beat right now. I woke up this morning. When you wake up, it's sitting up nice. And then the second I sit down, oh my God, the pain is just, but you know what? It is what it is, man. I go to the doctor today. It's been 4 days, man. I went to the hospital. They gave me a boot, give me nothing. Just gave me painkillers, so hoping they could get me addicted. That's all they did. Give me some Oxycontins and tell me, don't take too much of that. You know? Like, can you believe that? That's what they do, man. They want to get you hooked out here. Yeah, I have to sit down. I cannot stand up. Yeah. And I'm sitting. I'm in a chair. So weird to be in a chair. I do have pants on. I put pants on for everybody. Who wants to see how bad my foot is swollen, man? You want to see a swollen foot, dude? It's so nasty. Oh my gosh. My foot is so beat. It's so beat. Oh my God. But I got pants on for everybody because I'm not going to do that and not wear nice pants. All right? That's just how I was raised. So shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's break down BTC. We're going to be live till like 10:15, so we are going to go into the normal time. But they gave me 40 and said the same thing. I took them all in like 2 days. Oh my God. Sitting and delivering the best technical analysis. Thank you for being here, each and every one of you, for kicking it with the lifer, for hanging out, and for being absolutely amazing. We love you. Without you guys, I don't think I would be able to push through as good as I've been pushing through, you know. Hyperliquid, nice little pump to the daily 200 moving average. That's what you get. When these get tight, you pump to the daily 200. Now look for this to subside and create a nice little flag. If that's the next movement, we will flag out, and then Hyperliquid will probably break out somewhere by Valentine's Day to the upside. Oh, man, the pain is great today. Wow. Yeah. And again, I was praying for your complete recovery, Sam. Thank you, man. Early bird catches the pump. Like the threads you have another day. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. So let's take a look here at what's happening to Bitcoin. Let's break it down. Let's have some fun like we do every single day. There's so much opportunity here today, folks. You know what's so cool? I'm going to tell you something so amazing, and you're not going to believe it. Guess what? You get to create the life you live in. Isn't that interesting? If you want to be a fireman, you can do that. You can go become a fireman. If you want to be a police officer, you can do that. If you want to be a doctor, you can do that. If you want to be a YouTuber who dresses nice and wears pocket squares and drives Lamborghinis, you can do that. You can do whatever your little itty bitty mind creates, man. You know what I mean? If you think, you could have a farm in North Carolina, man. You could be Crypto Billy. You know what I mean? Or you would be your own self. But you know what I mean? You could do whatever makes you happy. You could be South Carolina. You could be in Charlotte. You could be in Florida. You could be in Texas. You could be in California. Where do you want to be? You're a treat, man. You don't have to live by other people's rules and regulations. You see what I'm saying? Like you can, you will, you are the best. So I just want to let you know that you control your life. You ever seen one of these? You ever seen one of these? Hold on, let's see. You ever seen one of these? This is the keys to a Lamborghini, okay? Okay? You get these when you bust your butt, all right? Someone hands you these when you work 5 years straight without taking a day off. Someone's like, okay, here you go. You deserve it. Anyway, who cares? It's not about that stuff, but it's fun. You know, there are trophies in life, and there's little times where you say, hey, man, this represents all my hard work, and that card definitely represents my years and years and years and years of hard work. So blessings to everybody out here. So worst case, best case scenario, we talked about it, right? We talked about longing right here with a stop loss below these wicks to see if we can get the V-shaped recovery back to the upside. You know what's interesting? Could it be a shoulder, head, shoulder? That could happen. I'm not saying it is. It looks more likely like we're going to make a bear flag and continue lower, though. So right now, the trend is your friend. So you're like, but Sam, you're so bullish. You're so optimistic. I look for bottoms, but I know the trend is down. You know, when the trend's down, you have to front run bottoms because you're not going to get confirmation. Understand? But that's kind of what happens. Dude, we got mics all over the place. We got pod mics. We got SMB7s. I got it all over here. I'm telling you right now, we got a studio of studios. And I just want to warn you, I'm going to blow up. I'm just letting you know. It's already happening. I was on TV last week, and I'm going to run one of the most vicious campaigns you've ever seen. And I'm going to be on the map. And so for all my peoples, man, that have been trying to contact me, man, you better get me on that podcast soon. Because, man, my manager's going to be checking off the list. You know what I mean? But God bless everybody here on the live. Let's break down what's happening to BTC. And let's see what's happening here on the monthly chart, all right? Every single day, we don't stop. We do the same things to keep ourselves going. Mr. Price is going to be known as the Price Master. Amen. I love that. That's and wow, you know, I've been using those little headphones, but these have really, like I can hear it amazingly well. It's like a whole different experience. It's like I'm inside. I feel like I'm in there like swimwears, as they say, huh? Hey, who says that? I think this guy. So let's take a look here at the monthly chart and see what's happening. Can we flip this green? You know, can we close a green month? You never know. There's a possibility. At least we did the first thing right. We started low so we could create a wick. If we started high like this candle, right, that was no good. I mean, we didn't want to see that. And then this candle never had that big of, you know, it didn't have a big wick from the beginning, if you remember. It was a very small wick, and I kept saying that I don't love that. I don't love that idea. Like, not a good look, right? So that's the first thing that we got to think about and pay attention to. Could this flip green? There's a chance, right? Right now, that's kind of the only thing I'm seeing, and this is a falling wedge. I mean, falling wedges break down 68% of the time. But like, I guess you could be here. We'll get a little fake jump, and then you know, the Bearcat bounce possibly, and that could be. I'm still looking for the right shoulder. I'm still looking for my right shoulder. It's right here. It's right there, Sam. It's right here, man. Like, you can't. No, on the charts, bro. So I try. It's not good. But you know, I bet you laughed anyway, even though it was so stupid, man. You know what's funny is if you have the drum roll and the laughter, you can say anything and people will laugh. Are you ready? Right. The other day I was walking by a pond and a turtle looked at me funny. Why are you looking at me, turtle? So there's a right shoulder here on the monthly. We could go lower. So you have to prepare for this idea. You have to be ready for it. It says Bitcoin goes to 35. They're going to love this. They're going to tell you it's dead, it's over. And all it is going to be a Fibonacci retracement that we've seen thousands of times on many assets in the world. So like, it wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world if we did continue down, bounce off the 618, maybe wick down to 38. If we hit 38, it will be in the middle of the night, like we hit, you know, just like we hit 48 there. It'll be a flash in the pan. Everyone will run in. We'll probably front run it. Then you'll have a giant inverted head and shoulder, and then you're back to the upside, right? So like, I'm not stressed. Over time, we're here. Over time, we're somewhere up in here. All right, and maybe it takes time, you know, but by 2040, we're definitely over millions of dollars. So I'm not stressed, man. I'm not stressed. Life is good. So this is the worst case scenario. I'm ready for it. I'll teach you how to trade it. We'll see it before it happens. We'll be able to nail it, and I'm not stressed. So that's your worst case scenario for Bitcoin. Your best case scenario is somehow this turns green and you do get a bit of a bounce. Looks unlikely to me, but it's possible. And then if you take this is a trend line. And you could say we have to come back down to 67,000, bounce off the trend, right? I mean, we got to hit the trend. So the trend's your friend, man. Bitcoin is in a trend. And look, that would end up being this. It would be some type of ascending triangle, and we would have a massive leg up. And look, this is what we would do. So we would dump, hopefully bounce, go tight. And then November of 2027, that's when we would get on a massive rally. We would get a pretty nice run from September to October there. You know what I mean? Or May, actually from May all the way to September, we get a big run. That's when they start injecting the capital. That's when we get the new Fed chair. But then people are going to take profits, right? At the beginning of the year, January, February, and then the December sell-off for tax reasons, right? Then you're going to get the sell-off. And it looks like April 1st, you get the bounce, you get tight, and then you're back into December, January. So the two pumps we're getting, it looks like May to September, and then, you know, possibly September to December in 2027. So that's what I see happening. And if that's the best case scenario, we get these two nice pumps here for Bitcoin. So that's just, you know, to me, it is what it is. So I kind of just gave you some insight you may not have seen. So if you're a perma bull and you're saying we're going up, then we're just going to go straight up. And Bitcoin's going to be $200,000 by February 1st of 2027. It looks unlikely. Unless some black swan happens, something happens that shoots these charts up in a way I've never seen in my life. This isn't the likely story. Look at how Bitcoin has been moving. It comes up. Look at all the money that comes in. We've taken so much money out of the world. Where are the rest of the money going to come from, right? So good morning, Marcus. Good morning, all the lifers. Good morning, everybody out here. Thank you so much for being here. Now, Sam from London, pumping in the gym. I love you, brother. Shout out to my new people who never gets to see the stream, but I'm early today. And you're like, man, I never get to see this, but I'm early. All right. So get prepared. This is the channel that's going to show you what's actually happening. We make money off of educating people, not off of shilling when the market's good. So I'll be honest. I shouldn't talk about anyone else, and I'm not going to mention names. But 90% of these YouTubers and people out here, they make money off of the shilling of the markets. Like they make money when the market, you know, again, of course, and I do better when the market goes good. More people come in. But this channel is the channel that just, if it hurts my pocket, I still tell you what's going on. Like if I believe it might turn you off from crypto, if it might make you feel, I still tell you. I'm not trying to, oh no, it's awesome. Every day is going to be great. I mean, it is awesome. Every day is great. We make opportunities for our lives. Like I said earlier today, guess what, everyone? Today is a day you get to design. You get to design your life. All right. So finally watch during the lunch break of the UK. Remind me to put in your calendar and mark it down. Make sure you don't miss it. What is he talking about? Miss what? Right? All right, so now let's move on into the 2-week chart. The 2-week chart starting a possible tweezer bottom. There is a chance, previous resistance could be support. There's a chance that a super cycle begins. There is a chance that this is what's called an ascending cup and handle. Okay? I've seen this before. Here's your hopium copium. It's a half a cup a handle. That's usually the measured move is that leg, and we go on a massive tear, and we hit 151,000 by February of 2027. So this is like the best case scenario. Bitcoin shoots up like by August of 2026, maybe. But this would be you'd have to get a monster move. And that doesn't usually happen. Usually if you were going to get a move, you get an inverted head and shoulder, which means you got to spend at least like 8 or 9 weeks, maybe even 10 weeks making a right shoulder. And you could still possibly get there by September or October of 2026. So this is your best case scenario for Bitcoin, in my humble opinion. You know what I mean? It doesn't just shoot up out of nowhere. So this is your best case scenario for BTC. And then I like to take these legs just to kind of show you like what a leg for Bitcoin looks like, right? Then you'd have to flag out. So my whole thing is that this is the most you ever shot up. Like this is the most bullish we ever had. And it never went straight up. You get it? It did pretty good, but it didn't go straight up. Let's take the whole leg and just show you. And I'm not saying it's going to mimic this exactly, but it's definitely how you want to see how an asset moves up. Like nothing goes up straight. So look, this tells you it's going to be 2028 by the time you go back to $187,000. So the highs are usually not touched for a long time. Remember that. Look, the last time we made a high was October of 2021. We did not break the high until February of 2024. You see this? So about 2.5 years later, 2.5 years later, we end up breaking that high. Here's this high here at the last 2017. We don't break that high until December of 2020. They're both pretty spot on. Around like December through January is when you break that high. So 2 years later, and then the next following year. So if you have a high in 2021, 2 years to 2023 ends, and then at the beginning of 2024, you break the high. Here you had your previous high in 2017. You don't break the high till about January of 2021. So That one was 3 years. No, yeah, because it was really 2 years, because January of 2018 to January of 2020. Yeah, and then so it was like 2 years. It's about 26 months. So this would tell us if the same thing happened, all right, we hit shift and we hold this, and we go like 800 and 858 days. I believe it was 1,080 days, if I'm correct, but like we're doing it in a more like broad, quicker sense here, but like 840 days from the high. That's 1,010 days, right? So if you were to just take even, so it tells me we could break the high somewhere in here, somewhere between March and April of 2028, which is the halving for Bitcoin, right? So people will be front running Bitcoin. So, this does make it sense that we can't go much lower, because if that's going to be the time we break the high, then if we can't go down, what if we went all the way down there? I guess you could say we do something like this and we could, but interesting things to think about, right? I just wanted to kind of show you some stuff you haven't thought about today. All right. And break it down. Funny, I never looked at this. This kind of was an Adam and Eve. I never saw it like that, right? A slanted Adam and Eve. And they do play out just like they're supposed to. Could this be another slanted Adam and Eve that ends up playing out? Hey, so I think I just kind of sparked your mind. I did too. I haven't gone over any of this stuff ever. I've never shown this on my channel. This is the first time. So if you're early bird style right now, you're getting some action that you've never seen before, right? And that's just kind of that's just what we do here, right? We show you things you haven't thought about before. All right. Shout out to the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Thank you for being amazing. Gold getting a nice bounce to the upside. I took a long on the Tech 100 last night. All right, I'm trading the NASDAQ on a long-term move here. And I gave my group this trade, told them about it, said NASDAQ's about to break out. I can see a breakout when I know it. I'm in there. I'm going to continue to possibly add to this trade, but this trade is up right now. Just small amounts, but beginning its move to the upside. We're going to take a look at gold, silver, Bitcoin, and break it down so you understand what's happening in the markets today. So 78,300. Can we get back above 78.5? The psychological support of resistance. Can we close a 2-week chart and make a tweezer bottom here? That's the question. And the weekly, also looking for a tweezer bottom here for a move back to the upside. Possible double bottom on the 3-day chart, which is a strong price action. And we wicked right to the 200 moving average and came to previous support as resistance. Like didn't hit it, but we front ran it. No one's going to wait till us exactly hit resistance. I'm going to buy Bitcoin before that. Most people are, you know what I mean? It is what it is. So that's what happens. This is what I see. Okay. And if it goes lower, so you know what I mean? If Bitcoin goes lower, the lowest I see it going is 35,000. This is when Bitcoin can only drop 50%, I'm so happy. I've taken drawdowns of thousands of percent. It's been up and down. I could take a 50% drawdown any day of the week. I've been through it so many times and not selling is easy. So if Bitcoin goes to $35, $40, that's going to be about 50% of the drawdown. So if I put $1 million in Bitcoin and it goes down to $500,000, I'm all right. Like it's not that big of a deal. If I put 10 grand and I go to, and again, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't think I say you should be taken as such, but I'm just kind of telling you what I see happening. Right now, I see Bitcoin possibly getting a move here to the upside. That's when I am still long here on Weeks. If you want to sign up and trade, go to Weeks.com. They've got great customer service. They're working every day. They're creating so much awesome content too. They got this reality house they're coming through. I would have been in it, but I got a wife and kids. I can't be hanging out with a bunch of dudes in a house all day long. But, hey, I wouldn't, interesting, right? So, but I might stop by one day and pop on in. Maybe spend a couple days in the house, Maybe Andy, I could stop in for, as a reward for my foot healing one day, I don't know when I'll travel again, which is sad. I was on a travel tip. God wants me home with the family, I guess. He does, 2025, I was all around the world. 2026 started with me, getting a ruptured Achilles. So this still is very tight. I see a move back to the upside, but let's look at the bigger picture. So I'm in a long right now. I've been in a long since the end of the stream yesterday. It's only down $80. It's been sideways for a while. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. How long I've been in the long, right? But yeah, continue to add to the BTC stack. That is the plan no matter what. So Bitcoin, 5-day. Let's go to the 3-day. The 3-day, which is showing a double bottom. I'll take it whenever I can see it. And hey, what if we double bottom here and get a beautiful move back to the upside? The last time Bitcoin had a substantial move on this, like it was a 3-day double bottom, was back in the day there. TN XMR 786 at 355. That's right under the daily 200 moving average. Shout out to TV Anderson. Let's kind of jump on into that for you real quick. XMR, then we'll get right back into that Bitcoin update. Keep you going. So look, I was looking for it to consolidate. It got sold off pretty heavily. I also found out, remember, there was someone using it to clean a bunch of money. So they were selling, you know what I mean? So they were the reason. They were using tons of funnel. They were flowing a lot of money into Monero, like a certain few entities. It could have been Lazarus. I don't know who it was, but it was a large entity with a big fat net worth, right? So it's still a privacy coin, but it's pumped and dumped. Could it continue to break back out? The weekly looks somewhat interesting. The daily curve back down, but is bouncing off the 200-day moving average. So like what I'm looking for is for this trend line to hold, you see? And for Monero to bounce back. So it got, they used it. They went through it. The liquidity was washed, and now what? And they could see shoulder, kind of head, right shoulder. It's interesting, right? How so it was everyone thought it was privacy. Everyone was going to get in. If you rushed into Monero, you got spanked. I told people not, again, no one has to listen to me, but I said I would not speculate on these altcoins right now. It's just not a good look, okay? Altcoins do not have high potential of return at the present moment. There's like individual coins being moved. We can find which is the hottest, and there's a few ones that I like right now. But for the most part, so if you are into Monero, you're looking for this to bounce off the 618, off the 200 moving average there. And you're looking for the 1 hour to possibly get back above the 200 moving average. And you're looking for some bull div, which you do have, as this kind of moves up and that moves down, but it's not amazing at all. It is there on the indicator too as well. I don't know. Monero looks ugly to me, bro. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look amazing. Like, I'm all set. I'd wait for Monero. If I was really serious about banking some coin, I'd wait for it to break out here and bounce back to the upside off of what level is that? About 425, right? So I'm stacking Bitcoin and Solana, baby. That's right. I don't play games. Who wants to see the stash? I'll show you the stash. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Half a mil. 166. 2 Bitcoins. 1,000 Sol. Some Maxi tokens. Some Zen. Some Master. I ain't playing around. Where's Soul Jakey at? Soul Jakey, I got my Bitcoin in my soul, bro. Full Weta. I said Weta. Yeah. Full Weta. Weta? You know what Weta is? No, you don't. That's why. It's my code word. So shout out to everybody here. Can you go over Ghost on Solana, please? No. I will not work for you. You will not tell me what to do. I will go over any coin I want whenever I want. Man. Of course, we'll take a look at We'll take a look at it for you. I like Buckcoin. It looks like it's consolidating. I know you don't believe me, but Buckcoin looks like it's going to the moon. Remember, Buckcoin made Fartcoin. Get it? I'm just so sorry. Let's take a look at Penguin. Penguin was hanging on the 786. Did it continue to dump? I don't know. It's hanging right here on a Fibonacci level. Could come back with a vengeance. And Ghostware is just sitting at $6 million market cap. Just tight like a toiga. Bouncing off the 786. I put very little what I was willing to lose. I like it. Look, it's flagging after it broke outside of a flag. It's a very good sign. And look, it's got shoulder, head, right shoulder. I see this thing headed to 16 to 1 6/10%. And right now, it's at 6. That would be a little under a triple up. We'd get to about an $18 million market cap. It has a real product, folks. See what I mean? The internet sees too much. Ghost it. Ghostware. Erase your fingerprint across comms, wallets, and identity layers. Run aliases. Route through relays. Leave no metadata behind by Ghost, right? And again, I'm not promoting this. I didn't get, I don't know anything about who made it and all that. I'm speculating that other people will speculate. I see things before other people see things, and I say, hey, I made my money as a speculative investor. What does that mean? It means I look at markets and I think of who will rush in and when, and I buy before them. I don't have conviction in anything really but Bitcoin. You see what I mean? I don't have conviction in anything because they print the dollar to zero, so I don't have conviction in anything but hard money, which is Bitcoin. Everything else I buy because everyone else buys it. I don't love Lamborghinis. I buy them because other people buy Lamborghinis, and it will go up in value because they become scarce, right? I don't love, let's just say, I like suits and looking nice. That's different. I actually, I almost enjoy that more than a Lamborghini. My whole point is I'm not really into things because I'm really spiritual. I love God. My parents were taken from me. I got very spiritual the last few years. Material things just don't really make sense to me. When I look at them, I don't get it. You know? I like cameras and lenses because I can use them. You know what I mean? Like this camera's nice, man. It's a really nice camera. If you're looking for something to get you going, the Sony EV10, man, and it's got really nice focal range. The only thing, the lens I have right now is a pancake lens. You got to keep it kind of far away. But man, it really does blur the background. It's got really good. Anyway, nice camera. The Sony EV10 marked. There's like the two part. I got the second one. But anyway, like I'm into things I can use, touch, and feel. You know what I mean? So like this silver bar that I'm not going to sell for the next 50 years. My daughter will inherit this silver bar. It'll be like a relic. And wow, these are heavy, man. Man, so funny. People were paying premium for them. The funny thing about gold and silver, you have to pay over the price when you try to go. Okay. You have to go over the price. Anyway, let's get back into BTC and show you what's happening to Bitcoin. So possible double bottom here on the 3-day chart. Possible double bottom on the 3-day. Do we have bull div on the 3-day? We do. That's strong bullish divergence. I've seen this play out actually many times as a nice bull div. That looks like the head of a inverted head and shoulder. That could break us back to the upside. Interesting. So like I like this bullish divergence on the 3-day chart. It's strong. It tells me that we actually could end up getting it's a very rigid divergence. It tells us we could get the bounce to the upside. On my way back to 78,400. Dang, man. It's taken forever. Forever never seems too long until you're grown. But let's take a look here at the daily. The daily also exhibiting this bullish div because that's your low. That's your secondary low. It's higher on the RSI, but you have this slant down on the price action. And this could also start to turn into what's called a complex inverted head and shoulder. So they made this head and shoulder. We were able to read that right. We got the dump of dumps. Isn't that funny, man? Show me the charts and I'll show you the news. This told you that there was going to be the biggest liquidation in history for Bitcoin. It told you, and it even told you where we're going to go by the exact length. And then it told you would probably stop at previous support of resistance. You can see how TA really plays out. There's two people in the game. People that don't know TA and get wrecked and people that know TA and run the market. It's up to you. How do they train bots and algorithms? Through technical analysis, right? So why wouldn't you trade with that? Because that's how hedge funds, that's how everyone's trading. You're not trading with your brain, man. You know what I mean? If you're using whatever you think in your emotions, you're going to get wrecked. They know how to lead you astray. But if you stick to the technicals, you extrapolate the emotions, you're able to see things that they can't see. This is the key. All right? I can't wait to buy Bitcoin on the cheap again. Woo, you never know. You might not be able to. You might have to scoop some up today. All right? Today. Today is the day, folks. Today is the day. And, I just might scoop some Bitcoin up in front of you right now. Seriously, though. Like, I just might grab up some Bitcoin. You never know when I'm just going to grab up some Bitcoin. But I'm going to jump on into my Pionex account, which I will get into scalping eventually. I'll get back in there. I like Pionex. I just need more volume. They have great, it's not them. They have great service. Everything is going well. I love Pionex. Safe, secure. Look, I keep 58,000 here. No problems at all. All right. Let's go on over to spot here and let's just take a nibble for Bitcoin. I like about $6,000 worth of Bitcoin today. I think that's a good idea. Let's go to 65. Like, let's not shortchange my daughters in the future, right? Let's not be greedy. If I'm greedy, I'm like, oh no, this is for my kids, man. This is for my kids, right? And so 78,380, and we just bought $6,500 worth of Bitcoin. You can see the order history. Bitcoin. And look, what did I do before? Look at Bitcoin. So look, 5,000 worth of Bitcoin on 1-2, $10,000 on 1-3, 25 on 110, 2,000 on 113, 5,000 on 114, 2,500 on 116. I don't play around, man. Oh, there's another one, $5,000. Look at this, 510. I don't play around. Okay? I don't play around. I buy Bitcoin when everyone else is playing games. Everyone else shows you their leverage trades. I'd rather not see, I love my students, don't get me wrong. But if you were like an influencer I was following you, I'd rather see your Bitcoin buys than your 10,000x gains, man, because 90% of people, that's not sustainable. They're going to get wrecked and lose tons of money. But to actually, trade leverage with a low risk, proper risk management, and then to take the gains out and buy BTC, that's the key. That's the goal. What if Bitcoin goes down to 30,000, Sam? What are you going to do? I'm not going to stress. Yeah, I'm not. It's not going to be a big deal to me. You see what I'm saying? So I'm here for the long haul. I'm not here to play games. I'm here to show you what's going down every single day, right? So if that makes you excited, if that gets you going, then show up every day with me. And we're going to win together no matter what, because we're going to find a way to win. We're the winners. We're in the winner's circle. So again, worst case scenario here, that we don't get the V-shaped recovery, but we make a bear flag. To me, I just feel like it's time to consolidate a little bit here for Bitcoin. So that's why I decided to ape into the long, because at the worst case scenario, I feel like I'm just going to go into a nothing burger, lose tiny bits of money, and then have to bend to the fact that we're going to make a flag. Or we might get V-shaped recovery. So I think this is a really good time to take advantage of the charts. Problem is, last night, the back of my knee started to hurt. Like my knee started, like the back of my knee, because when you pull your Achilles, it goes all the way up the leg. And now, because it's been 4 days or 5 days since I've had any attention from a doctor, and my foot is like 3 times the size of my other foot at this point, everyone. Like, I gotta get a surgeon to help me. And you call them, you're like, my foot's falling off. They're like, oh, we have something on the schedule for tomorrow. And then they gave me today during my show, and I told my wife, I was like, I can't take it, man. He's teaching you how he did it. Those with ears, let them hear. Amen. Yeah. Tape it, Sammy. And what's your average entry price on your long-term Bitcoin? None of your business. Seriously. None of your business. Because if I told you, people would probably, it's nobody's business how much I paid for my Bitcoin. Nobody. That's what I get to know, and nobody else. It's none of anybody's business. You know, when I was on Fox News, they asked me how much Bitcoin I had, how much money I had in Bitcoin. They obviously don't understand. Like, you don't tell people how much you have in Bitcoin. That's insane. A lot of people think I have 200 Bitcoin. A lot of people think I have 50 Bitcoin. A lot of people think I have 500 Bitcoin. A lot of people think I have 10 Bitcoin. Nobody knows. It's none of anybody's business, okay? It's my daughter's business when I pass away. That's the only people that are going to know how much Bitcoin I have. My wife and my daughters, man. Okay? Just say you bought 100,000 Bitcoin at $1. Hey, maybe I did. Maybe I bought $10,000 of Bitcoin when it was $300. You know what I mean? You must get that tendon reattached ASAP, Sam. I know, man. I know. I'm injuring myself. I'm actually making it worse. I'm really upset that it's taken me 5 days to get help. Put Amica cream on it. Helps with the smelling. Amica, thank you. Yeah. What program do you use? I'm asking your average entry price. I know, it doesn't matter to you. I'm not telling you. Okay? He's like, I'm asking your average, and I'm not telling you that either. Because then you would know that I got into Bitcoin. It doesn't. Yeah. And maybe Billy and Sean. You're funny, man. People out here still working, holding, won't sell for nothing. Exactly. I ain't selling Bitcoin for no reason, baby. Nada de nada. Let's take a look here at the 12-hour and the 22 after a massive dump. They did get a tweezer bottom too, finally on the line. Strong support right there at the previous area where people took some profits. That's just what they're going to do. It's a standing place. It's like a rest stop on the highway, right? And then if that's not an inverted head and shoulder on. So remember, this is here just in case the daily goes sideways. What I'm looking for this to look, that looks like an inverted head and shoulder. Shoulder. That's a beautiful reversal pattern. That's a cup with a handle. Let me just show you. That's a Sammy cup and handy. If we look at it on the 2-hour time frame, it's going to be very apparent. And then look, you're riding on the 21-day moving average. That looks beautiful to me. I'm long, baby, long. I'm looking for a move to the upside. When I get out of this doctor's appointment, I should be in the gains. Wow, the pain is unbearable today. The pain is unbearable today, folks. I'm telling you, I don't speak about pain like this, but man, I'm at like an 8 in my foot right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't even feel my foot. It's like numb. My foot is ice cold too. Like, dear Lord, please help me. Oh my God. Pain started shooting up the back of my leg last night, which it didn't do for the first few days. Like, I don't know what's happening. It's like it's pulling on the back of my quad now. I was in so much pain as I went to sleep last night. You know what I did? I was listening to positive affirmations, and I prayed to God. I was like, can you please relieve me of my pain tonight so that I may sleep, man? And you know what? Like, within 10 minutes, it disappeared. Like it just disappeared. And I was able to sleep, man. It hurts. It hurts, guys. It hurts, man. I'm in pain, guys. I'm in pain, folks. The lifer down, man. Lifer down. Oh, man. But this looks beautiful to me. I like what I'm seeing here for Bitcoin. Looks like we can rip all the way to 84,285, man. There's a nice gap. Everything's looking good. I got some longs open. I'm willing to go at it. I'm going to take my shots, baby. I got my longs open on the NASDAQ. So we're jumping on in. We loaded up on the NASDAQ last night. Just beginning. This is likely going to rip to the upside. I'll show you the measured move is the length of this pole. Once it breaks out the ascending triangle that it's making here, touching the 21-day moving average. And I just see that, and this is simple. I get into the NASDAQ, I hold it until March or April, right? And then, interesting. It might even continue. Maybe I could continue forever, right? Put ice on it should help with the pain. I know, right? End the stream. Take care of yourself. Bill Brown, you sound like a softie. Nah, Matt, you care about me. I'm just messing with you. I hope you fully recover soon, Sammy. Pray you heal stronger than you were before. Thank you, man. Sell and wait for 30K. Be sure to take your pain meds as directed. No, I will not take the pain meds. I'm not taking them. I could be on an Oxycontin right now. I'm not on it. I'm not doing it. I'll take it at night if I really can't handle it. But I don't want to get addicted to pills throughout. I pray to God I do not get addicted to painkillers, man. I've already had issues in the past, when I was a kid. So I don't want to have any problems. So. Can we look at S&P, Sammy, as I've gotten a lot in there? Oh, man. Yeah. Same thing as the NASDAQ, man. Same thing as the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at the ES1 here and show you what's happening. S&P futures on the CME. So I see the S&P about to blast too. It's going to get tight and tight and tight, right? You could almost see it like this. It's like it's in this. But I feel like it's gonna round out and go a little more sideways. And so I'm looking for this ascending triangle to begin to form here. Let's look at this on the big picture. I'm kind of like inching away there. Why can't I show you it huge, right? It's nice and big on your phone. You might be watching on your phone. You want to see this. So I'm seeing this. What I can also see, look, shoulder. You see the inverted head and shoulder here? So hold up. I'm actually going to change my tune here. Watch this. They're going to be printing money big time. All right? They have to. Okay? And remember, if there is WAR, which I don't hope there isn't, but if there is, it also makes the stock market goes up, man. So I know you don't want to hear this, but that's bullish for investors. Okay. So do it. How many people in the armed forces the rich are gonna throw on the front lines? The rich will never go. Their kids will never go. The powers that be will never go. Right? So I mean, if you look at that, I see an inverted head and shoulder there. Do you not? And that looks like you may start to blast right now. I mean, it's about to hit an all-time high. It's already at an all-time high. Remember when I called the absolute bottom here? I told you that was the bottom when everyone told you we were going lower. I said on 11/21, I called the bottom for the S&P, for Bitcoin to bounce off that low area. Insanity. Yeah. No one educates others like the crypto lifer. When has the stock market gone up during war? Wow. Like, I mean, a quick grok post would help you out with that, man. Jeez Louise. You know why? Because big funding gets put into weapons and weapon defense. And if that money doesn't stay in weapons, they have to then spend it on computers and technology and engineering. And then those people get the money and they spend it on stocks. You see it? And they become the people that are like involved in the background. So funny, I just touched the wire with my foot. Am I electrical? Funny. Metals go up because of uncertainty. Not every time. Yeah, and if they've already ripped into war, then they might get sent down. Exactly. Metals go up because, yeah, it really is. I drink it every day. If he eats bone broth, collagen protein, and a lot of regular protein. Thank you so much. I actually believe that. And my wife is already getting me collagen. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. You're smart. You know what you're doing. Bitcoin 78,170 struggling to stay up here. So the smaller time frames may get spent, and I could be wrong. Maybe we don't pump. I don't know. That's why my trade is 18,000. It's not a $180,000 trade like normal. It's a smaller trade. All right. And we'll go over. Look, this looks like look, oh no. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. That could be dumping us right down to 77,361, right? We'll see. I like the bigger time frame right now. I would stick to the bigger time frames and not stress. You see, this is my daily. I got a daily long cooking right now here on MEXC. Here's my daily long on MEXC. Let me show you. Yeah, and so they need silver for different things too. But here's my MEXC trade here on the daily. Stop loss below that daily wick. See if we can get the continuation. And it depends on what we get to close today. That's why I like daily trades. Like, I can't do anything about that trade. Like, today, I look when the daily candle closes. And you can make so much. See, that's the thing. People that make the most money trade the daily and the weekly. They're not looking at the charts like you guys are. They're looking at some bigger time frames. They're looking at once a day. They're checking on the daily close. And they're living their life. And they're making more money than someone that's sitting at their computer all day long. I'm trying to teach everybody this, but nobody believes me. All right. Silver is used for radar technology, too. Lots of important stuff in silver, 100%. Yeah, magnesium doesn't hurt as well. Yeah, but for that injury, not so much. But good advice. Yeah. Dang, I forgot the early stream. At least I got 1 hour hope. Good news at the doctor's, buddy. Thank you for saying that, man. God bless you for saying that. Silver 88 cracked with a nice scalp. Yeah. So S&P looks good to me. It really does. Bitcoin looks good to me right now on the 2 hour chart. Bear, what's your bearish scenario? This turns into some type of M. We start to dump. And then we would come all the way back down somewhere here to like 72,000. Let's take a look at Bookmap. Link in the description below to Bookmap. I do receive a commission if you jump into Bookmap. And wow, this is the first time now we got liquidity up at 94,000. Haven't seen that in a long time. And at 82.5. This suggests that the closest red is where we're going to go. And it says we're going to go to 82.5. So that's what Bookmap is suggesting. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed, but it coincides. I got to move up to here. Look, 82.5 is right about here. Right where the next resistance is. That makes perfect sense. See? The VRVP will align with the liquidity on Bookmap. And you can see 82, basically 6 to 82.8 right there is this key level. If we go right to where the support was, right, if you drag this down, it's 82.325. Like, it's, you know what I mean? So things are starting to make sense. And what I do is I like to put these together, right? And you can see they show you that the prices and the they're right aligned. It won't let me because Microsoft. But let's see that. This is where we are. This is where we're going. And there's a gap in the VRVP doing the same thing. You see the gap. You see it. So I'm teaching you how the VRVP coincides with Bookmap. You use them in conjunction together to get it in, to get it done. All right, and you can too. You've got this. Okay. I'll open $100 short position. Okay. House, cars, data centers, electricians are desperately needed to buy their future. Electricians run copper. Yeah, magnesium reduces swelling, helps produce. I love magnesium. I have a magnesium spray. I'll have a horrible, horrible cramp. I'll spray it on it. In literally a minute or two, the cramp will dissipate. And I will feel better. My wife keeps magnesium spray next to the bed out there every night because in case anything happens, she's got it for me. My wife feels so bad for me. She sees that I can barely move. And then I got a speeding ticket in November, and I had to take traffic school. Of course, I put it off until, and it's due today. Traffic school's due today. But you can only do 6 hours a day, and I picked the 12-hour class instead of the 8-hour because, I don't know, I messed up on the site. I was only supposed to take 8-hour, but I had to take 12-hour. And so for the last 2 days, for 5 hours of my day, I've been sitting taking traffic school. And the questions are ridiculous. Insane. USOIL in the 4-hour. Thanks, Mr. Cup and Handy. Let's take a look at USOIL. He said 4 a day and 1 day, Mr. Cup and Handy. Okay, let's take a look at the weekly, and then I'll whittle my way down. I just need to see it bigger. I see oil previous support as resistance. If they're going to print money and there's a bunch of money's coming in, oil is going to rip. And look, that's previous support. This is a pretty good line. There's a bounce there. We had some chop there. We had some serious chop there. And sometimes it's not just an exact line. It will be a range. But this is the range that we're looking for here. And we could get all the way to 150, 151, baby. So I like it. It's kind of a cup and handle in a way. It's a bit dangerous, right? It's like, what is that, right? But there's some cuppy vibes to it in a way. It's not amazing, you know, but it has that feeling. And there's a double bottom here too as well, isn't that? That's a bit of a double bottom for oil. So oil looks good to me. Could be a beautiful trade right now. You said the 4-hour and the daily. Let's take a look. Yeah, the daily just pumped up and got rejected by the 200, but that's the first thing that happens when you start to make a move. Again, look for it to make a beautiful flag and continue out of this trend line. The 4-hour time frame back above the 200. That's very bullish. And you can see right here, it had made a flag. It touched the 21. This is, I'm telling you, you can trade anything with my system. It doesn't matter if it's oil, gold, silver, oranges, heck, tulips. You can trade it. But look, I mean... Bitcoin holding 78,000, 78,250. Nice where we're sitting. Just come back from the gym having a problem. Protein shake with oats and berries. Processed food make me feel ill. Making sure I'm eating well. 100%. Do the right thing, man. But then you got protein in there, which probably has processed in it. But hey, we must be an Aries thing. I've been to traffic school twice in the last 5 years. I've been to traffic school once. It's only because I got a speeding ticket and I paid a lawyer to beat the ticket. And he was able to say, okay, we got you a non-moving, but you got to take school, right? Like they'll let you slide because of my first offense. I've had one speeding ticket. I've had one guilty. I've been caught speeding once in my entire life at 43 years old. That's how good of a driver I've been, man. Knock on wood. I mean, I don't want, you know. So one time in my life, I have a documented speeding ticket. I'm a saint when it comes to my driving record, man. Never been in an accident in my life. And I've driven from New York City to Boston hundreds of times. I have a lot of miles on there. The last few years, no, I sit at home a lot now. Okay. He said, you're just good at not getting caught. Funny. So yeah, I like oil. And then it's coming to retest this key area, right? So you might see a jump in oil today. And then look, oil is also doing the same thing. They're all going to do the same thing because they're off with the dollar. So look, shoulder, head, right shoulder. Just like Bitcoin could make the bigger move, right? And then this is a falling wedge that could break to the upside, right? So I like oil right now. And then it's kind of, look, it's an ascending cup and handle. See this? Oil's about to rip. Oil is about to rip, says Sammy Cup and Handy System, which is like 90% accurate. So hey, you do you, but thank you so much. US oil looks like it's about to blast. If you want to trade US oil, I believe you could trade it here. I believe you could trade it right here. Let's take a look. US oil right there. So we could trade this exact setup here on the 4-hour, right? Bang. And so we're looking, yeah, see, there it is. There's kind of this idea that we could get the bounce back to the upside for oil. And stop loss for me would be like, you know, between below 60 or possibly 59. Those are the key areas that I'm looking for. And then, yeah, look at that move up to 70.92. So, yeah. And then I'm looking for this to turn into an inverted head and shoulder. Let's actually draw it out the nice way. Yep, there's your shoulder. There's your head. There's your right shoulder. I'm calling for a move in US oil because the dollar's going to continue to drop in value. Stay strong. A good chant to say when you need help from Jesus in Greek is, thank you. Kri lisa Christi elisame, which means Lord have mercy, 100%. Hey Sam, hope you're better soon. I had a friend who tore his Achilles and he said the doctor told him your Achilles can repair itself, but without surgery, the chances of the tear again are high. I believe that you can walk backwards with a boot. Yeah, but there's like a 30% chance of a new tear. If they do the surgery, there's like a 3% chance. Think about it. I got to do whatever the basketball players do, right? They get the surgery because they want to keep playing basketball. So, yeah, what about gold and silver? We're going to take a look at it all for you. Every single Friday, I do a macro technical analysis video. This Friday, I couldn't do it because I had to go to the hospital, which is kind of sad. Like, I couldn't wait any longer. Sam, side thing, please have a look into Leech. Yes, we do Leech. Yeah. No, my buddy uses leeches. I've had leeches on me a month ago. A month ago. If everyone remembers when I got hit by the golf ball, I went to my buddy's father, who, undisclosed information, none of anybody's business. But I had leeches put on me. And so, yes, I already know about it. Yep, heritotherapy, yes, 100%. And it will help clean the blood out. It'll help stop blood clotting if I have any issues down there. I probably will have them. Yeah. I think it's going to be the smart thing to do, honestly. Leeches aren't fun. They feel very strange. It's kind of a weird feeling having an organism stuck on you. If my buddy's father's like a tough guy and he's like, come on, let's get this done. He basically kind of got me to do it without really he just started doing it without telling me. And then when I saw it, I started freaking out. And he's like, hey, you got to be a man, dude. And he kind of challenged my manliness. I said, oh, you're going to say I'm not a man, bro? Put them leeches on. You know what I mean? Like, he knew how to get me, bro. He reverse psychologied me, and then he got me in. But thank God he did, because I probably would never have done it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Documented case. I had leeches on my knees. 3. One got so big, and then it fell off. Oh, it was disgusting. I have the videos of it. I'll post them if you want to see leech therapy. It's crazy. Please be careful saying such things as this will heal you. Please be careful saying such things as this will heal you, and this... No, what the heck are you saying? Yeah, and we're going to look for peptides too, and a certain 2 peptides, like 150 IJ or so. I know there's like 2 ones that I'm looking for. All right. Good morning, Lifer. Can we look at Dash? Looks like a decent on the entry. Guys, send in a super chat for TA and deep dive. The chart's pretty busy, even though we're not the stream isn't at the normal time. It's still a really busy comment section. Okay. Can we look at Dash? Yeah. Sambo, which is faster, Lamborghini or Bitcoin? You're funny, man. What, you scared of a leech? I'll be honest, I don't like something sucking on my blood, man. My mother is compounding variables. Any question, feel free to email me. Yeah, email us then, so we have it, and we can reach out to you without thinking about it. I think you already did, but... Oh, yeah, I think you did already. Yep. Yeah, BPC 157 and TB 500. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you. BPC 157 and TB 500. Yeah, Tom Brady. Wolverine stack. My man. I'm going to become the fastest person to recover from the Achilles tendon in the history of the human race. And my story is going to be famous all around the world. I'm going to become famous for having recovered faster than any human being ever, because we have new technology that we didn't have before. So this is your Bitcoin update. I see an inverted head and shoulder. I'm long on the right shoulder. I like how we're curving on the 21. Things are looking good. We got strong bullish divergence, and we just might start a super cycle today. You never. I'm open-minded. I'm poised and ready if it is. I have enough crypto to go, so let's go. Let's get it in. Look, I got 500 over there. I got 200 over here. I'm not playing around. You know what I mean? I got 171. I'm not playing around, man. I'm in crypto. I'm heavily in cryptocurrency. I'm not playing games. Okay, someone asked about... Let's take a look at the super chats and the fan funding here. Okay, wow, we have some... Full moon was February 1st. Let's pump. Yes. TNXMR, we did that. Thank you. Can we go over Ghost and Solana? We did that. Thank you. USOIL, 1 day and 4 day. We did that. Thank you so much. Wow, I'm nailing them today. Hey, Sam, hope you get better soon. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Mr. Q, for the information. Everyone that shares with me, I really appreciate it, because I get a collective amount of information from you all, and it helps me make good decisions. My life is really, you guys really come through for me, and you really make it amazing. So I appreciate that more than you would ever know. So we've gone over Bitcoin in a nutshell. I've showed you my live trades. I've told you what I've done. You're either going to see me lose or win, and we're going to go from there. Let's take a look. White House pushes deadlines on stablecoin yields. The White House has told crypto firms and banks to agree on new rules for stablecoin yields by the end of the month, so a major U.S. crypto bill can move forward. U.S. officials used the White House meeting to order both sides to craft compromise language on stablecoin yields before month end. Banks want yield-bearing stablecoins tightly limited or banned, while many crypto firms see yield as a core to competition and user adoption. The outcome will shape which stablecoin rewards survive in the U.S. and whether the Clarity Market Structure Bill advances. We should be able to do whatever we want, whenever we want with our stablecoin. The fact that the banks are trying to tell us what we can do and take over is BS. And until they bend the knee and tell us that we can, crypto companies should be able to hold yield and produce yield just like a bank. They're mad because they can't give yield the cryptocurrency market can do. And they're like, we don't have to give control. You see what I mean? In their mind, they're like, why should we give control? We don't have to. So why don't we just bully them out, right? MicroStrategy's position turns red. I don't think so. I think he was like 77. He might be back in the green now at 78. But Story getting a little bit of a move here today. Nothing crazy. Pi, Jupiter, stablecoin. We talked about it, up 2% in 24 hours, but it was the only coin I really put out to the group in the last couple of days. Canton CC's on my radar. We'll look at that too. Near, I'm so happy I sold Near at 190, man. Everything went further down. These altcoins are so hard to hold, man, when you have tons of them. I sold Render at 220, 220 and $1, man. Aerodrome Finance, BNB, you name it, it's down. It is down. In the last 7 days, I think Hyperliquid and Stablecoin, the only big thing, and Canton CC. I gave you guys Canton. Let's talk about it. It's the only coin I put out because it was in the best. It looked really good. The Canton Network. And there it is. It's up, man, since I gave it to you. I gave it to you here at 15. I'm not trying to say I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, but dang, man, I only put out like 1 or 2 coins at the trading group. And that's 27% in gains. I mean, that's beautiful. And you can see my strategy yet again. The same reason I'm in oil. The same reason I'm in Bitcoin. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. There's the flag. Tight moving averages. The 21's above the 200. Do you understand what are you picking up what I'm putting down? It's not that hard to do. I can teach a baby to do this, man. My 11-year-old daughter can do this. She's a better trader than most y'all. You know what I mean? Because she doesn't second guess what she sees. She just goes for it. She's going to get it. So, bang. And look, that next level, first you hit that 22, and then I see us headed up to 26. So far, so good. I've been spot on with Canton CC. And it looks like it's going to go further to the upside. Shout out to all the lifers that may or may not have gotten in. Even if you just learn my system with Canton CC, that's all I plan. Learn the system, use the system, get it in. All right, there you go, Canton CC. All right, and so yeah. And then I look at Crypto Rank. I just want to see what is trending. Bula is trending. Isn't that little kid? $8 million. No, he's like a, yeah. Space coin, Moonbirds. Is Bula an older person that looks like a little kid? That's what it is, right? Yeah. I should know. I saw, he was right next to me in Dubai one year when I was at the Karate Combat. He was there, right? Yeah, and there's tinning when I get too close, right? It's funny. ZK Sync, ETH, Gas, GWEI. I talked about GWEI. Did GWEI still hold its level? I gave you guys GWEI. That's another altcoin that I gave. Remember that? Remember when I gave GWEI? Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. The crypto market. But we gave GWEI. It did go up 65%. And then look, it double topped. Learn this stuff. Look, see the double top? And if you go to like the 1 hour, you'll see it's cat ears. That's it. You know what's funny is it started to make another flag, though, that looked interesting. And then they just wrecked it. But it did have kind of a double top, too, as well. Right? It kind of has a double top there. But interesting. I mean, dump to the downside. GWEI. Crazy. It's just, you know, I mean, like nothing is sacred lately. Like, just be careful. And that's how I felt about altcoins. Like, if I'm in, I'm out fast. I'm not trying to play games. Pocket Network came right back down, but it actually is still in the fight. Look at this. Pocket Network's interesting to me right now. I don't know if there's investors coming in. I don't know what's happening, but look, it's marching. I had that crazy move, then the crazy dump, but now it's marching, man. I own Pocket, just so you know. I have a piece of it. You know, anything could happen. I like what I'm seeing here for Pocket Network. Looks like it could continue to go further to the upside for Pocket. Let's take a look at the DXY. I want to see what's happening to the DXY right now. Wow, so it's trying to recover too. And again, the DXY can pump with Bitcoin. I just want you to understand that. So look, it had a little V-shaped recovery. I'd like to see it get rejected by the 200 now. Let's redo it and let's just start fresh with the DXY on the weekly. What is the DXY? It's the dollar. Okay? It's the Dixie. You know, honestly, look at this. This is what I see. Maybe you don't. But this is what I see. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? A star, glistening in the night. So can this come all the way back to 80? It looks like it could at least come back to 89. That looks like a head and shoulder pattern to me. This also looks like previous support as resistance was basically retested bearishly to the downside. Look, you're on the 21 above the 200 on the weekly. Bear City. So to me, look for this to flag out in a bear flag and continue to go lower. I'm calling on the DXY to continue to go down in price. That's going to boom oil. That's going to boom real estate. That's going to boom the stock market. That's going to boom. And then they're going to cut the rates. And so if you have the dollar dropping and you have a new Fed chair that's bullish for Bitcoin and you have the rates getting cut, it's going to create a massive move and an injection of capital like you've never seen. Okay? Super big deal. About to get to market open too on that NASDAQ. Well, we trade NASDAQ futures. They should already be moving. You see what I mean? And they are, right? So that's why I don't wait, man. A lot of people are sitting there waiting for the NASDAQ to open now at 9:30, right? To make their first trades. We're already in doing damage. Hey, Sam, can we look at JASMY having a blessed day? JASMY fell off. I don't hear it get marketed. Nobody talks about it. It just doesn't get enough press, man. You got, for anything to pump, it's got to get some press. People have to love it. However, if the dollar does continue to drop, it's going to pump Bitcoin, and then all these altcoins that are faced in Bitcoin are going to move. So it could create a little bit of a frenzy here for some altcoins, and they're at their bottom. So the dollar about to drop even more. Bitcoin possibly bottoming out a little bit in these coins at the lowest they've ever been. It's kind of showing you that there has to be some type of move. But look at JASMY, man. That's insane. So ugly. So to me, this is like you either buy here or you don't believe in it ever again, right? I still own some JASMY for some sick reason. But look at that, man. So to me, it's either that's your bottom or it's not. Like, you got two choices. Not a big deal. If you're looking to swing trade JASMY, you're looking for it to get above the 200 moving average on the 4 hour. It did that already, and then also still collapsed after it had a possible movement. And then the 1 hour too. Just I'm not a fan. Doesn't look amazing. It's in the dumps with the rest of the altcoins just attempting to find its way. 78,250. Shout out to almost 1,000 people. Can we get the likes up to the watches, folks? This is not my normal time. So I need each and every one of you to hit the likes. Like if I go and I see there's like 200 likes on 738, 381, right? No, 281. That's cool, but it's not that cool, man. I would never do that to you. If I was watching you, I'd hit that like button. It's so important that you do. Let's get us to 1,000 people today. I know we can do it. Let's get us up to 1,000 likes on the stream, baby. Come on. And thank you for the chat revenue, but thank you for everyone that did like it. I always say thank you to God for what I did receive. Always be grateful for what you do have. My left leg has a ruptured Achilles. As I say it, I don't even believe it. I feel like I'm talking about someone else. It's me, man. And then I say, well, at least I have my right leg, you know? And I believe God's doing this to teach everybody how to be grateful, man. God is using me to talk to you. He's saying, hey, I don't care if your leg hurts. Be grateful for your other leg, you know? Like God is using me as an example. I'm not complaining. I'm not moaning. I still have a beautiful life. I have a beautiful wife, beautiful children. I have so much to be thankful for. You know what? This actually made me realize how grateful I really am, this leg, because I could go the other way and I'm not. And it tells me that I have such gratitude for this life and for God and for everybody. And I feel good and I'm on a higher frequency. I never would have taken a hit like this even 3-4 years ago. But ever since my mom died, man, I'm telling you, I found compassion in life. I found the way to connect to the source. I love you all, everyone. Keep coming back to the stream. Keep pushing. Thank you so much. I can't do it without each and every one of you. I can't get there unless you hit that like button, unless you show up to the stream. There's nothing I can do. 78,300 Bitcoin still flat, doing absolutely nothing. And there's only a few altcoins that are looking good, and we've kind of gone over everything for you. We've even speculated on the memes that are out. Only real memes we're speculating on, a couple of them here and there. We showed you how this is an inverted head and shoulder, just making multiple right shoulders. I gave you everything I could today for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the Tether dominance and Bitcoin dominance. Tether dominance should be falling. Wow, so Tether dominance spiked, which is kind of crazy, right? We wanted it to make a right shoulder. It made a double bottom. Made a beautiful double bottom. Look at it. And it spiked up huge, tight moving averages. Right? Now we're going to look for some bearish divergence on Tether dominance. So let me show you. And of course, people you mean imagine running into Tether because Bitcoin's tanking. When Bitcoin tanks, I'm running out of Tether. You know, not at the exact moment, but once we find that, you know, that's when I sold off Tether. So basically the masses just didn't do it, but that was the time to get rid of the Tether. Anyway, let's look at it on the bigger picture. I like to whittle down from the weekly. I'll be honest, I mean, this looks creepily bullish. I have to say, you had previous support as resistance on the weekly. You got above the 200 moving average, so you were in a Tether bear market for a while. Tether was on a tear, right? That's bear market style. And Tether just actually has been going up over time. And they got the USAT, right? Which is also going to change. Damn, looks like Tether dominance it ebb and flows. But definitely for the market to rip, you don't want people rushing into Tether. That don't make no sense. But look, the weekly just broke above the 200 moving average. I have to tell you, man, either we're going to do one or two things. You got to look through this to make a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder and dump, but it's still going to take its time. That's Bitcoin's ascending triangle that's not going to break out until May, like I'm showing you, right? It's just going to take its time. So when you look at this, you can kind of see what's happening. Everyone, let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. How many people are new on the channel today? How many people have never watched the show? Put a 111. You've never watched Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. You just clicked on, you're a trader, you got interested, you heard my voice, maybe you saw my link, maybe you saw the thumbnail. I don't know what it was, but what made you jump on in? Who's new today and what made you jump on into the stream? I'd like to know that. Put a 111 and then just give me a reason for jumping on in. Shout out to Scotty Rock. God bless you, Scotty. Everyone tell Scotty you love him. Say, hey, Scotty, we love you. Show him the community we got going on here and how strong we are. Best voice in the industry. Thank you. OG, second time, 222. Okay, I like that. I'm Randy. Audio box. Is that Randy? God bless you. Welcome. Yeah, welcome to all the new people here on the stream. Thank you for jumping on in. Said a small prayer for your brother Jesus. I pray that you heal Sammy's injury and that you love him and restore his body to full health. Amen. Thank you. Yeah, filled with wisdom. Dirty Scourge. Yeah, good morning. Good morning to all of you. Plus, Scotty. Sam, my friend, is about to give a trading. Could you give up some inspiring words? Giving up is actually the best because that means he's at his low. And my lowest points were my greatest moments in my life. And he has to ask himself why he's giving up. He probably just didn't have the knowledge or a good mentor and he got himself wrecked and hurt. Tell him to join a group with someone that cares about his absolute progression, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Tell him that all he needs is a group of people to care about him and believe in him. And he can begin to believe in himself again. Belief is contagious. When you're with a group of people that are positive, anything can happen. So tell him, man, that my lowest points were my greatest moments. Because when you hit the highs, that's great. Highs are awesome, right? You achieve this high, you drive the Lambo, you get the plaque. It's great, right? I mean, that's awesome. But when you look back and you ask yourself, how did I get here? You think about being alone on that night shift. For me, I think about my bosses treating me bad. I think about when I fell through that glass door bleeding. I think about all the ups and downs in my life and how I made it through. I'm going to get through this leg injury, which is, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. What's crazy is I'm starting to get at a pain in the upper part of my knee now. So crazy. Yeah, he needs to watch the Crypto Lifer 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, just tell him, man, he needs someone that can mentally get him going. He doesn't just need a trading mentor. He needs an absolute life mentor. He doesn't need anything. God's given him everything, but he could definitely, I believe, tell him to use the word desire and tell him to look in the mirror and say, I desire to change. I desire to be responsible. If he doesn't like trading, it means he didn't do it responsibly and it pissed him off. So that means he might not be responsible in other parts of his life. See, everyone thinks trading is the problem. The problem isn't trading. The problem is you. It's always been you. You know what I mean? You've been the issue since day one because that's how it is. Okay? Right? And then we just lost 50 people out of nowhere. I'm going to do it better, man. I'm telling you. I know who you are. I know who you are. So crazy, man. And this was an experiment, too. I can find so much information from this stuff. Because, I don't know. There's not, I guess... May God help anyone. Yeah. I just tell you, though, I built so much. If for any reason you eat off behind my back and you don't really tell me the truth, God will know, man. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me, but God will know. And it won't end well. You know what I mean? So, I'm just, it won't end well. How are you not liquidated from yesterday? Liquidated from yesterday? I'm in the same trade, man. Yeah. I wouldn't get liquidated. My liquidation is at $70,000. How the heck would I get liquidated? You know what I mean? I could get stopped out, you mean? I think that's what you mean, but I'm showing the trade right here. This is the trade I made yesterday. I haven't touched it. I haven't touched it. Exact same trade, you know? Yeah, the big man knows it all. Have you heard about Epstein's connection to Bitcoin? Yeah, all Epstein did was fund some people through MIT and try to get them to work at other parts. But he did not create Bitcoin. And again, he had money. He knew about something on the underground. He dabbled and he knew a lot about things that were happening behind the scenes. It makes perfect sense. All right. So there you have it. Yeah. Trust me, man. I just told you what's likely going to happen here for Bitcoin, right? I told you that the most likely scenario is that the daily makes a bear flag and we continue lower. You see? Don't forget what I told you today on the stream. I think people kind of watch me so much, but this is that we make this bear flag. Actually, do it somewhere else because it's. But check it out. The thing is, I spend tons of money on marketing. I'm out here every single day. If you grift behind my back, it's so whack, right? You know what I mean? And the problem is, I spend $250,000 in marketing next year, but I can't have people grift on me if I'm going to spend 250 grand, right? So you just, because there's always someone doing something funny, man. And again, I won't mention it again, but if I find out you're grifting, I can't bring you with me when I spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on advertising, right? So it is what it is. There's nothing I can do, all right? It's God's decision. It's not mine. Don't you understand? I can't do anything about that. That's set in stone, right? So look, this looks like we're going to go lower. You see? This looks like we're going to go lower. This is going to come down and touch the 21 and we're going to dump. But to me, I feel like we're just going to have some time to at least make a flag and there's a chance we could recover. So I might as well flip in there and see what can happen. That's all. That's my reasoning for all this. Understand? Doesn't mean it's going to happen for sure. Doesn't mean I'm 100%. Okay? God will be with you on your surgery day. Thank you. I know he will. I know he will. I get nervous, man. They put me to sleep. What if I don't make it out? You know what I mean? I just get nervous, man. I got wife and kids. I don't want to go underneath. I don't want to go under. I don't want surgery. Maybe they just numb my leg and I don't go under. I don't know, but they probably will put me down. You know what I mean? I don't know if anyone's been grifting. I just put it out there in case anyone thinks of grifting. They don't do it. That's all. Yeah. I can't prove anyone's been grifting. I don't know. Yeah. He's like, who's been grifting? Honestly, I don't pay attention, so I don't know who's grifting. But I just want to let you know that it's not cool to grift, even if you're grifting somewhere else other than on me. Don't grift, all right? And if you're grifting, know you're grifting at least. Come to terms with it and ask God for forgiveness, okay? Because grifting is a sin, okay? Yeah, grifting is a sin. What is grifting? Okay, here's grifting. Your buddy owns a pizza shop. He gives you free pizza sometimes. And he lets you go in the back and get free pizza because he's cool and he loves you. And you start selling it, you know what I mean? And making extra money off the money he gave you, right? That's grifting, okay? But also in the mafia, right? And I'm just messing with you. But you're skimming off the top, even though it's not your territory. That's grifting, okay? Yeah. Anyway, I won't mention it again. I'm just putting it out there. I like to put things out there so they're out there forever, okay? That's all. Oh, hell no, right? Hey, Peter. Hey, Lois, I think I'm going to go to bed. My name's Peter Griffin from Quahog. And honestly, God has blessed me so much, I don't think there's anyone, I actually truly don't think there's anyone grifting. I just, I have been grifted in the past. That's all. And you never know. So I just it comes to mind. So let's take a look. Is that NASDAQ dumping back down again? Are we in the green or the red? Oof. But this is a long-term trade. So we're looking for this to kind of do its thing like this. Let's see what you could do on the NASDAQ on the 1-minute chart if you would like to trade NQ as it's about to open here. All right. Let's look at the NQ, man. E-mini futures and what I would be. So look, you have a bullish engulfing candle on the daily. You have a secondary candle. You look at your 1 hour. Your 1 hour is in a bull flag just like Bitcoin is. And it's oversold in the stochastics RSI. So the 1 hour suggests you're going to get a move. Move on in if you're trying to trade the smaller time frames.
Let's look here. You had a cross there. You're kind of sideways. You got a head and shoulder on the 1 minute. You see it? So it looks like you might take a quick little move down before you make a move up, right? So we're looking for this move here somewhere, I don't know, to 25,081. Yeah. Was that too much? You're funny. Anesthesia is always an option for those with a strong stomach. Interesting. Live for Goon Squad on standby. I know, right? Send in the goons. Send in the goons, man. Right? Oh, you had Goyim? Yeah, it's funny that you call it Goyim. It makes sense, right? Yeah. You know, they called us Goyim, man. That's what they call us. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? The Goyim, bro. Goyim. Right? Because that's what Epstein was calling us. We're the Goyim, right? We're the cattle. They treat us like meat, bro. I won't say it, but it starts with a T, right? Dude, this looks like it might do some damage. You might be onto something, brother. And again, because it's kind of, and why this thing is trending because of Epstein. Goyin. Again, I'd be very careful. It could go to 0 in 2 seconds. Just, this is up to you, but dang. That's what they call us, bro, 100%. Yeah. Oh, I know. I mean, I've who told me we were called Goyim? Behold the Pale Horse, right? Behold the Pale Horse, man, by William. Behold a Pale Horse. I got this book. I have it. I read it. My goodness. A lot of the things he told me are coming true now. Everything he told me. He told me so many things. Oh, my God. He even told you they were going to take him out. It's crazy. Anyway, I get goosebumps even talking about it because it's so true that it's insane. But he figured it out, man. He knew it was up. He told you so many things that you need to know in that book. It'll blow your mind. NASDAQ does look like it may be taking a little bit of a fall on the morning. And you can see like it moved up, but now it's slightly sideways. And that's a head and shoulder pattern you can see on the NASDAQ. And it pumped yesterday. We could some redistribution maybe back into crypto. So I see the NASDAQ taking a dump. Tells me you should be shorting the NASDAQ at open. It's about to open here. I see Bitcoin getting a flag, about to make a massive move. Me too. We went over Bitcoin. Australia in the house. God bless you, man. That's a deep, great book. Bravo, sir. Thank you. Yeah. R.I.P. And God bless him, man. He really, really cared about the human race. He tried to warn us. He did everything he could to tell us the truth, man. He really did. But hey, I will be a truth seeker, a soothsayer, a truth seeker, and that's just who I am. I can't turn that off. That's who God made me, man. It may have got me into some trouble sometimes, but I will continue to deep dive, man. I will continue to deep dive, right? Because I refuse to live in the dark. And the light is where the information and the knowledge is, and I'd like to be in the light. If you look at the 15-minute time frame, that's a dump. I mean, if you can't see that, and let's see if you're using some ICT, if you can see it. Let's flip it upside down. You would have drawn your Fibonacci this morning, and when you saw us hit the 786, you would have shorted the market. I mean, there's your move right there. I hope Master Friend was able to serve that to you nice and easy, because that's what he does, man. God bless my man, Master Friend. So look at that. And that would bounce off the 618 golden pocket and come right back down. And so there was your entry there on the NASDAQ. You flip it upside down. You pull the fib from this impulse to that. And then you take the retracement. And that's the 786 retracement that Friend talks about every day. It's right there. Bang, bang, bang. Right? So I'm spotted right now. Going 70 market cap. I'm watching it closely. Be careful, man. Yeah. I would, because there's going to be a lot of write-offs. I don't do that. You think this might follow? I don't know, man. Like you're onto something that just came out. You don't have locked liquidity. Be very careful. Go to antirug.com. Get yourself in there. I actually got to contact them again, and I forgot that we were like, I was working with, like, they liked me, and because I was going on the site every time, and they're like, we want to give you some free stuff, we want you to show you, and then I forgot, man. I did not mean to be rude. They probably took it as I blew them off, man, and people I want to work with, I forget to talk to. It happens all the time. This is high risk, high reward. I wouldn't touch this with a 10. I wouldn't go near this. But hey, if you're willing to deep dive and go at it, that's you. All right. And look, we just said this was going to dump like a second ago. We told you the NASDAQ was going to dump. And what happened? The NASDAQ dumped. Did it not? Bitcoin holding 78,000, all that matters. But look, I gave you, so I can trade any market in this world. You could have just traded the market open with me, and there's your move for the day. All right. Looks like you're going to go all the way to the target at 25,820 and continue to dump. Let it go, baby. Let it go. And see, there you go, man. I called the dump for you for the NASDAQ. I could do this every day at 9:30 in the group for live. You guys want me to call the NASDAQ for you every day? I could do a dang good job on it. You know what I mean? I've been trading 20 years. Like, I'm an old man at this point. I do it in my sleep. I don't even know I'm doing it when I do it because it's my subconscious mind that's doing it, not me. It's not my conscious mind. I'm not consciously watching the charts and seeing it happen. My subconscious mind is watching the charts and seeing it happen. Okay? I'm not in, but I'm watching it closely. Amen, yeah. I learned so much just watching Sammy's mouse, let alone his words. He is the best teacher, man. Thank you so much for saying that. It's very nice of you. God bless you. Well, my mom was an innate teacher, and I watched her my whole life, so she taught me how to teach, man. And my dad was a good teacher too, man. He taught me the ways of the world, man. I had two great souls that brought me into this life. My mom and dad were amazing people, man. They were so blessed. They were so awesome. They were hippies. Yeah. I'm old, not you. I know. Thank you, man. Nah, I'm still young. 42 years young, baby. But look, Head and Shoulders break down 68% of the time. Like, what else do you need to learn? Like, this happens over and over again. It tells you where it's going and what's happening, and it happens like most of the time. What else do you want to do in trading? Don't you want to be accurate? Don't you want to see what's going to happen before it happens? Look, I just called this dump. Just told you what was going to happen right to your face. Okay? I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying. So if your mentor went long this morning and couldn't see this, whatever strategy they were using got them caught up, I think you should rework who you're listening to, okay? If you're out there on the interwebs and you're watching a bunch of people and they're telling you we were going to bump today, and again, I'm not always right, but I'm right most of the time, man. Look at this. Hey, and look, you lost a 200 moving average on the 1 minute time frame, which is my go-to to tell you it's time to short. Then when you get into the short, you get in when you touch the 21 above the 200. That's your entry right there. That was the perfect entry. All right? And we're going to the target, 25,820. Like, it is what it is. Shout out to anyone that traded the NASDAQ right there. I just, I kind of want to go live every day and do this and call the NASDAQ from like 9:20 to 9:40, then jump off and then do my show. I just love it, man. I just love it. Yeah. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah, bang, bang, bang. Just called the NQ live, man. Let's go. No one will be more consistent or get it done. Head and shoulder to the downside, dumpy. I saw it right as it happened and was able to call it right as it went. Hit the target too. Perfect trade. To the target, baby. To the target. Bang. It doesn't get better. It's easy, it's fast, and you guys just watch him call that, and you watch the play out. 100%. Yeah. 20-minute, because, dude, it trades exactly. I can figure out where anything's going by using my subconscious mind. I fed it 20 years of data. You see? And I feed it more data every day on top of the data, so it gets cleaner. It's like an engine that keeps cleaning the gas as it keep putting it in. It's like cleaner running. It runs cleaner every single time. All right? And we're in there like swimwear, man. Exactly. See, I don't stress anything else. I didn't need to know about, I didn't look at non-farm. I didn't look at any of that stuff. I didn't go looking for it. You know what I mean? I just knew what to do. And let's see what we have today. Nothing today in the USA, right? It was tentative for the JOLTS job openings, I thought. And today is Tuesday, right? I'm getting so caught up in the day. Yeah, today is Tuesday, February 3rd. And so we look here. Look, yeah, unemployment in New Zealand. That's coming in at 4:45 p.m. I like to see what the rest of the world's doing. It's interesting. But USA has ADP non-farm change tomorrow at 8:15. So tomorrow at 8:15, you will get a bit of a move. Bitcoin back to 77.8. Struggling. Looks like it's not going to do damage. So we'll see. I would get out of the NASDAQ trade for the day. That is your NASDAQ trade. In and out. Don't trade for the rest of the day. You're done. You're done. You don't have to trade again. Why trade again? You're good. Call it a day and move on with your day trades. If you got swing trades, bigger positions, by all means. I mean, look at the smaller time frame. Shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. But this is okay. We could still be in some chop here for Bitcoin. But look, I mean, everything is kind of struggling right now. I would stick to the bigger time frames, like the 4 hour and the daily. And as I showed you, it could be, this could be an M pattern, and we could dump back down here to 72,371. Nothing is guaranteed here, folks. Okay. My appointment is at 10:45. Yeah, I wanted to be here till like at least 10:15, so the people that usually come to the stream are able to see me and say hi and jump on in. Exactly. Yeah, U.S. JOLTS job opening is tomorrow. It's funny, I don't see it on the... It was tentative. I think it got taken off the schedule. It was tentative for 10 a.m. And it's gone now. But we have tentative unemployment claims. Tentative, though. They may not come out on Thursday. I don't understand why that is. And then you have ADP non-farm, ISM, and financial PMI. So... crude oil inventories, I'd like to see that too, because if we're going to trade oil, I'd like to see the inventory. And then look, premium UOM sentiment, so nothing crazy this week. Really, the only thing to look at is non-farm. And unemployment claims on Thursday. And Wednesday is non-farm at 8:15. So 8:15 and Thursday at 8:30, right? Or it's tentative though. We don't know what time those claims are going to come out. Can you look at strategy? And I think because what? The government is shutting down again, right? Can you look at strategy? I'm looking for it to go lower. Bitcoin is king, but I like what they're doing. Looking to accumulate at good prices. Yeah, let's take a look at MSTR. I still see Bitcoin pumping off the 21. I'm not stressed. The bigger time frames are what I'm trading. No stress. Let's take a look at what you just asked about. You asked about MSTR. Strategy. I like how he turned it to strategy. Nothing micro about it, right? Okay. Let's take a look here. So the last time I looked at strategy on the bigger time frame, what was I looking for? I was looking for this inverted head and shoulder here. Shoulder, head, right shoulder to the upside. This is what we're talking about. Okay, this is the price action that we want to break down for you every single day. Yeah. Want to check some data for you here too and make sure everything is kind of coming the way it's supposed to come for you guys. Okay. Just stick with me for a split second. Oh yeah, I want to look at the CME. We know what it's going to say. It's going to say that probably no rate cut coming in March, right? 91% that they're going to keep the rates the same yet again in March, which is so weird, right? They were cutting rates, and then it just, they stopped doing that. So to me, it's just like the second they opened up that inquiry, right? The second they opened up the inquiry, that's when things got funny, man. And it was never the same. Funny. Man, so that's, yeah. Anyway. All right, let's take a look at Master. So MicroStrategy, see what I see happening? See, it's coming back to its previous support as resistance. You want to pull a massive fib on the weekly and take a look at it, right? Remember, you always want to start with the weekly, heck, the monthly if you can. Look at things in the bigger time frame. Wow, this thing has just been on a massive dump. So crazy, but it's back to strong support here. Usually you should be getting a bit of a bounce. Let's take a look at this. This is monthly Fibonacci, which I don't think I very rarely have pulled a monthly fib in my life. But I'm starting to become a longer-term investor. I got to look at things on the bigger picture. I mean, that's the 786 retracement on the big boy style. If you came from this area, it's even lower. But, man, that's 786 Fibonacci retracement. Eventually, you can't keep selling off an asset. I mean, that's like... That's some of the worst I've ever seen a dump in my life. That's crazy. Right? That's crazy. Let's take a look at the 2-week chart. 2 weeks kind of in this, like, falling wedge that we would like to see break out. To me, I mean, it's definitely a great time to accumulate. Right? And you can look, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. I figured it could be somewhere in, like, what price is it right now? It's 137. It's not even that bad. If you think about it, like, if you bought down here just a few years back at $23, like, you're still in the money. I don't know why people are freaking out so much. Just a 618 retracement. I see this as making a giant inverted head and shoulder. And this is likely going to be the bottom. So I could be wrong, but there's so much chop here. You're at this node. Yeah, you're going to drop right back to 50, right? But I see this as the bottom. It's a really good place to accumulate master, maybe open up an option call, a put. Hey, but that's just me, right? That's just me. Yeah. Exactly. $587. So if you're into master, I am too. I mean, I may start buying some master. You know, I've never thought about it. I never even considered it, but I may start buying it around these prices because it makes sense. All right. It makes sense. And remember, if you're to trade the NASDAQ on the bigger time frames, you can't stress the smaller moves. Shout out to Fox News. If you didn't know, I was on Fox News this weekend on Fox DC Live, Fox 5 DC. 632,000 people on that channel, and then people watching me all around the municipal. Probably over 1 million or 2 people were able to catch this broadcast. They broadcast to millions of people, man. It's so crazy. So I feel blessed. I feel amazing. Ask that, right? Ooh, funny. I just want to ask a question here to my AI. Master's just bait, but a jing. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Funny, right? I would be buying master like buying the ETF. Yeah, I mean, it's the Grand Master Plan. You know what I mean? It's the Grand Master Plan right there for master, right? And master brings all the friends together, man. So it's interesting, right? When you think about it, with master. Coinbase trading here on Twitter. Let me see. Hey, my buddy edited that for me. It was really nice, and he sent it to me. Coinbase funded by the elite. Yeah, they took $3 million from convicted, charged with prostitution. Oh my gosh. And everyone was fine with it. Do you still work with Jeffrey? And if so, we're interested in buying LLC below. We used to. What people don't realize is not everyone knew that what he was doing. Like, you might get contacted one day by like one of your assistants, and they could say, "Oh, there's this new fund," and you may be like, "I guess you could have deep dived," but at one point, a lot of it was kind of under wraps. You would do one of these, then you would go, the next thing you know, you get deeper and deeper and deeper. So you can just grab things whenever you want, and you can say monthly non-trading U.S. transaction, right? G Vacation, that was his email. G Vacation, right? Isn't that funny? It's funny, man. Breaking, Jeffrey invested $3 million in Coinbase in 2014 at a $4 million valuation. Email shows Fed agent was aware, and the deal was arranged by Brock Pierce and Blockchain Capital. Yeah, at the time, no one, you know, and again, maybe some of them did know. You see what I mean? But just because you, like, say I was running, right now I'm running a company. Say there's some, right there, someone doing that stuff right now. I don't know who he is. And somehow someone reaches out to me. And that's why you got to be really careful too, though. You got to background check people these days. But even then, that might not have come out on the background check. It just might not have come out. Why is Tom Brady trending, my man? What is that? Me and Tara are basically the same. What the heck? Tom Brady and Randy Moss deal with, oh, they were the best, man. He's like, yo, I'm going to get you lit, bro. That was so amazing when we had the Patriots. Randy Moss, man. Dang. He was unstoppable. Tom Brady has no idea what to do on Sunday without football. I know, right? I don't know why he's trending. Can't really figure it out. But God bless him. I mean, the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I remember, yeah, we did. I remember that. I still can't believe we won that game, man. When Malcolm Butler caught that ball, man, they should have ran it with Marshawn Lynch. Like, the fact they didn't run that ball, oh my God, that was insane. Absolutely insane. Insane. Yeah. So, bang, bang, bang. Look, that could be a double top right there, 101, and all the way back down to 97.5. All right. For the Dixie. Or not to 90, all the way down to what? 80. So, one thing I want to look at is the total market cap at all of cryptocurrency to see what's happening out here. Okay. Total market cap. Let's see if there's anything that could save us, right? So, I mean, I see the shoulder, head, and right shoulder right there. That already broke the neckline. And that tells me it's got a measured move to the downside. And that means crypto could go to $1.4 trillion. So I don't know if there's a black swan coming for us. Even more crazy information. I don't know what's going to be. But something looks a bit weird here. I'll be honest. So either we bounce here or it's lower lows for sure. So we're at a point where it's like, you know, the crazy thing is, though, you got a higher low. So Bitcoin took out its lower low, but, you know, no, not from the secondary point. But yeah, you've still got a higher low for Bitcoin. And for the cryptocurrency industry, you still have hidden bullish divergence set on total market cap. You know? So there's still a chance, folks, that, and this is substantial, like this is like back-tested probability. This isn't me just pulling a rabbit out the hat. This is exactly what it is. So while I'm getting cut open, for the guild, thank you so much, Shazmukta. You didn't have to give $10. That's so nice of you, man. That will come back to you tenfold. Anyone that gives, God bless you, man. Thank you. Can you look at strategy? I'm looking for, yeah, we looked at strategy. Can you check stock ticker PBR? Got a call option expiring on 320. For what price? I'm just interested to see what you're doing there. Let's take a look at PBR. So I like the 2 hour on Bitcoin. I wouldn't be trading the smaller time frames right now. Just too many people that are kind of, you know, doing crazy stuff. So petroleum, Brazil, yeah, I mean, that's going to go up because you're in oil, bro. Wow, I think you got a beautiful call there. Look at this. I mean, you got the ascending triangle, right? It might come up and come down, so you could get sketched out. I don't know, like, where you're going to be. So for me, it looks like it could go tight like this. And then break out with the bump back to the upside, right? And then we could get this move all the way to, like, right there. So, yeah. 32.67, 25.77. These key areas I'm watching closely. I like it. And to me, I feel like it's going to get there for sure. I just don't know if it's going to come and bounce low at 12.15, get tight, and then break out. But over time, I see this making a move. And I see it going through the measured move back to the upside all the way to 31, bro. That's a double up, man. And that's oil, too. So that's petroleum, right? Petro, Brazil, right? So I think you got something going on there. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Spot on. I like it. I like it a lot. I like what's going down here. Bitcoin struggling, not doing what we wanted to do. Again, I wouldn't be day trading. And this is not, I usually don't trade now, right? So it's like funny. I'm watching the markets at a very funny time. Let's take a look at the S&P futures and see what's happening to the S&P on the morning. All-time high for the S&P. It's $7,000. The S&P don't care, right? Again, it had the same head and shoulder as, see how the NASDAQ was exactly the same today? They both had the head and shoulder. Remember, you flip it upside down, pull your Fibonacci from impulse, bounce in onto that 618786. That's the bounce right there to the upside, right? There's the Sammy Cup and Handy. We went over this for years on my channel. That's Sammy Cup and Handy. Boom, right? And there you're in the money right there. And that's the daily move. You're either going to get it this way or you're going to get it the other way. It's up or down. And you could either short along the market and then you could be done with the day. I do see this is telling me there's likely going to be a move to here. Probably to the 15-minute 200 moving average, right? Wherever that kind of lies. Yeah, that's what I see happening. A move down to the 50-minute 200 average to this key area and to this high volume node at 6966. And again, remember, this is just big picture stuff. Like small time frames are small time frames. We're going to come back to the bottom of the channel. So we were at the top of the channel. Now get rid of this and all that craziness. But like that's how you trade small time frame action in the morning. And you want to have good volume too. And today is a good day. Wednesday or Tuesday is one of my favorite days to trade. And look, that looks like an inverted head and shoulder. The only thing is it looks like it's going to come down a little bit first inside the pattern. But that's okay. Right? But that's okay. Okay. Kita. I want to look at Kita. I keep getting some information. I liked Kita from the day one, but it didn't really kind of do what it fell off, right? But it's still, they keep saying they're going to be the best. They're coming out, and I see other people talking about Kita too. Kita's at the bottom of its barrel, so interesting enough, it could be a chance where like it can't really go much lower. And when I've looked at this one, you usually get like 5 touches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you start to come on out of the belly of the beast here. So I don't know why it keeps kind of coming up. I don't own any, but you never know. Right? So take a look at this here. C98 UBX, right? So look at this. Look at the UBX network, okay? Look at the UX network. This thing is, I remember I bought UBX years ago, man, and it just, no. Can that bounce off this key area? Maybe. I don't know. Aura try. There's not much, man. Altcoins are just, even XLR, which I liked, was like, you could search a blockchain and find out information. There was so many cool coins that had a really good use case, but just, I'd be careful. Funny, Adam just loves the $2 region. Like, I've never seen Adam go lower than $2. Just hangs out right here. So insane. Bitcoin 77.5 with the dump. So let's take a look back at BTC on the 1 minute time frame. And again, I'm not trading the small time frames today, so it doesn't matter. But they're chewing us up. Money, this is when I'm working out, usually not paying attention to the market. Look, it was a head and shoulder pattern on the 1 minute time frame. You can see it. It's clear as day. Like, all right, it did exactly what the NASDAQ did. No worry, I see it coming down and just bouncing. No stress. It could be making that M pattern, though, and taking a dump. Like, see, it could turn this into an M, and then just... We got an inverted head and shoulder there. We just got to keep it. I guess I'm so, like, stressed about my leg. Like, when I go in for my leg and come out, then I'll be able to actually look at the market. But, like, I'm going to get information that's, like, life-changing today for the rest of my life, right? So, it's just, like, nuts. We lost the 200 moving average here, too, man. No go, man. That's just not a good sign. Oh, God. 50 minutes, like, oh, man. Let me actually look at it from a new perspective, too, and be really open-minded about it. But, like, that's like a descending, and, like, you could go with 50, that could go either way. Just being open, right? Kind of have to hold out. This could dump, too. The dollar's pumping a little hard, I'll be honest. It's not a good look. So now you have to wondering, are you going to come down to the double bottom here? Let's look at Bookmap. What's Bookmap doing? Bookmap's just got severe volatility here at 77.4. Dang, man. An 82.5 up there is the next target. That's what it says. But usually we get a nasty dip to suck all the shorts in, and then we're going to rip back to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something of that nature. Could definitely happen. Okay? Could definitely happen. I'm already live. I'll send that to the group just to let everybody know that I'm already live. But we've been live for what, an hour, 2 hours now already, right? We've done the show. Yeah. Just for I just love my community. I want to make sure we're always on the same page, man. It's so important for me. I've worked too hard to get us twisted. So I just love you all, and know that no matter what happens to my leg, I'm going to be here, guys. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to be attentive. I'm going to be in the group. I'll probably be in the group even more. Be at the beach less. I won't be able to play with my kids much. It's kind of sad. I was bringing my daughter bike riding. Look, there's a shoulder ahead, right shoulder there. Like, it just... So the NASDAQ dumps, Bitcoin dumps. But again, it can make a shoulder head. This can go deep. It's all right. No big deal. Now you can pull the fib here too as well. Come back down to that 618 fib, even to the 786 at a dip. It could happen. All right. Yeah, October 10th started the bear market on chain data shows. I would, 100% it did. It was the worst thing in the world that day. That day, like, ripped my heart out, man. October 10th was so hard. I remember sitting eating with my buddy Marcus, and he was like, when he said Bitcoin was at like, so I was like, what? It was like 117. Next thing you know, he's like 103, and I was like 103. What? Bitcoin's bear market can be tracked to a session widely described as the largest crypto derivatives liquidation event on record, with roughly 19 billion in futures forcibly unwound as prices slid sharply off their highs. Crypto quant contributor. There's people that never made it back from that. Had that not happened, like, there would still be so many people still in every trading group. Like, it demolished so many groups. It demolished the sentiment. You had to be super strong to survive that. Only the people that were so focused and ready could handle that, man. So, and there's Bitcoin struggling. And honestly, like, with so much on my mind, on my leg, it's like, I give you guys the analysis, but like, I'm even having juggling my positions while I'm dealing with the pain. And it hasn't been easy, bro. I have to be honest. Like, I'm finding a new way to learn. This looks like it's going lower. Target there is going to be 73,261. And then that would defy this, and then this would be an M pattern. Like, you know what I mean? Let me take a look at another clean chart for a second here. Dang, man. Maybe they wick it back to the upside, kind of like this. But that's our saving grace. Otherwise, like, look at this. See? It may come into a descending triangle and then continue to dump. So look, I got us, right? Because if this is what happens, we're going to be able to short. So you don't have to jump into the short just now. This will do this. And then we'll be able to get an entry somewhere here with a stop loss above there. So begin to project your short. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but we should be ready for it in case. And so to me, this would be the short. We'd have our stop loss up there. We'd take it down. And it's almost like a 2 to 3 risk reward ratio, maybe more. So, right? That's just one thing I want you guys to pay attention on, okay? Yeah. Exactly. Damn, man. Yeah, so this looks like I see it dropping down to 75,000. This could be a nasty, nasty drop. I'm just stating facts here. And now let's take a look at our daily candle, which is probably struggling and not coming through. Yeah, see, now now you're about to take out yesterday's beautiful green close. You're very oversold, but at the same time, when I slow down, I just see this going sideways before the dump. It's like a little too far away for the 21 to continue to dump. It could do it, but to me, I feel like we got at least a couple more days until this dump happens, right? For the go. Thoughts on FCX, major copper mining company. Thank you. And again, pivoting into copper, pivoting into other things. I like that. Freeport, Micran Inc. Wow, look at that thing mooning. I think you asked about it here, huh? We must have made something there back in the day. Well, look, I mean, same idea. Consolidating. It's above the 21, touching above the 200, touching the 21-day moving average. And then you get this bigger move to the upside. A beautiful move, right? So, like, this is kind of what I'm looking for here. Okay? And then you would get this continuation all the way to about like 101.65. And then you have resistance, a bounce. And then and that thing just absolutely ripping. I mean, now it's a little late, right? And that's the 2-week chart too. So like on a bigger time frame. I look at it on the daily now. Daily looks good though. If this continues, it's probably just going to consolidate and then keep going. But I do see copper continuing. I don't see why copper won't continue to pump to the upside. Bitcoin about to lose 77K to the downside. It definitely was a short on the smaller time frames today that started to collapse. And then there's that trade I held for basically almost 26 hours now, just doing absolutely nothing. So it's all right. I didn't want to trade with big money until I got out of the doctor's thing anyway and figured out what was happening in my life. So it is what it is. Right? Dang, man. Wow, just emails coming in. A lot of people saying so. So, man, dang. The dump is real, right? So, listen, how we could get into this dump is use that 15-minute like I showed you. So, here's the deal. Don't get upset. You didn't miss the bigger move yet. It's setting up possibly for a bigger move. And again, every time we see a bullish pattern, it gets defied because we just don't seem to have enough people that believe in that bullish pattern. You got to have sentiment, right? Everyone has to think, oh, that's an inverted head and shoulder going to go to the upside. But people just are so full of pessimism right now. And then you have retail selling. People are selling off Bitcoin because of this Epstein stuff, man. It's so crazy. I love it because I like it. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it didn't change the code. Everyone's like, oh, I know there's a back end now. There's definitely a back end to it. And all this crazy stuff, man. It's just like, if it was a back end to it, you already would have seen it because there's people that are against certain people and they haven't been able to snatch that money yet. So, like, you know what I mean? It wouldn't make sense. They've had a chance to already get in there, and they could have done it covertly even and not knowing. No, maybe we didn't know about it, but I don't think it would make sense. I think too many scientists, too many people that know their data would tell you, no, I don't believe in that. I'm still long on Bitcoin. I'm really not stressing. I'm looking for the daily to flip back green, and then we'll see what happens. I'm looking more on today than the daily candle, but if it does dump, it's going to fill out this descending triangle and continue to go further to the downside, right, friends? That's kind of what I see happening. Bang, bang. Shout out to Mason. Shout out to all the beautiful people. Shout out to Crypto Face, right? And remember, they're going to make Bad Bunny wear a dress during the Super Bowl. Remember, Dave Chappelle told you they make every celebrity wear a dress. Remember, Dave Chappelle goes into his dressing room and they're like, oh, we're going to have you wear this dress for the next thing. And he's like, I ain't wearing that, bro. And like, oh, isn't it? It's just not a big deal. Man, they did Damien Duke go through history, man. From Robin Williams, they made him wear a dress too. He did that Mrs. Doubtfire movie, man. Whenever we saw that, we didn't think about it, but that was a trans movie, man, without even realizing it. They were grooming us with Mrs. Doubtfire, man. Back then. A man dresses up like as a woman, and he's with the kids. And I thought it was so funny, right? But it was actually changing my brain, man. Like, this is crazy stuff, right? So, remember, they're going to make this guy wear a dress for the event because they want him to know that he's under their control. And he's going to wear the dress because they've mind controlled him, man. And whatever reasoning they get a man to wear a dress, you will never get me to wear a dress, man. Heck, kilts make me uncomfortable. But I'm just telling you the truth, man. And I know you guys, most of you know this. But once they get you and hold you in control, they force you to wear a dress. They've done it to every single male celebrity. And you can go watch the Dave Chappelle interview. Type in, try to get Dave to wear a dress. Go watch it. He's going to tell you exactly what's going on. All right. And he said no. He walked away from $50 million. Basically, that was the beginning of it all. All right. So, and again, I love everybody. I'm open, man. Like, if you're gay, that's cool. I'm not like, you know what I mean? There's gay people out there. I grew up with gay kids in class. Like, one of my best friends growing up in my hometown was gay. Like, he's a nice kid, man. He didn't talk about it all day. He didn't push it in our face. He's gay. Like, it's okay. Some people are different. But you don't have to, you know what I mean? It's just, what's happening now is way different with the children. And, like, there was a little boy I saw clips of yesterday, and he does this. She goes, some people take KAE on a couch, and he goes, he's 11 years old, and he goes like this, or 10 years old. What is that? And they're doing it in our faces, in front of our faces. We're family men with kids. They're doing this in front of our faces, friends. This is some weird stuff, man. I'm sorry. I love everyone. I'm open-minded, but that's not cool. Okay? I don't know why I just got triggered, but I did. I just went crazy. But it just, enough is enough. Okay, can I get an amen in the chat? Can I get an amen in the chat? Can I get an amen in the chat? Can I get enough is enough? Right? They're forcing it now. So true. How you can have a little kid act like he's doing something off his hand, bro? And you're going to be okay with it. He's on a couch. He goes, some people do this on like... He's dancing in front of gay men in a club. He's 10 years old. And men are throwing money at him. This is a true story, friends. This is a fact. This has really happened. I'm not making this up. This is really happening. Like, I can't, I feel so, like, this is what, that kid's going to look back on his life and wonder who the heck did that to him. If he makes it to 25. The odds of that kid making it to 25, my goodness, right? His mind is going to be so twisted. Yeah, it's just like, wow. I am in shock, my friends. I am in shock. Where are the parents at? 100%. And I'm sorry to get everybody wild up here. It's about the price action, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. But man, children are children. Like, I got a right to be a kid, man. Leave the kids alone. You know? I had a right to be a kid and have an innocent life. I went and played in the woods, and I had a little wooden, you know, I read Tom Sawyer, and I had a little wooden, you know what I mean? I was a kid, man. I was a kid. Like, let these kids be kids, bro. Damn, it hurts my heart. This is crazy stuff, man. Like, let these kids be kids. Look at this guy. You don't get canceled. Louis, you're such a freaking little baby, bro. Come on, man. Get out of here with that stuff, bro. You know? What? Yeah. Thank you, babe. I'm just talking about how, like, they're going to have Bad Bunny wear a dress at the Super Bowl, and, like, they like every man wear a dress, and, like, you know what I mean? This is the world we live in, and I'm you know?
I just want to say,
yeah.
You're not making them do it. People have a choice.
Okay.
So those people, they should say no. If everybody said no, it would stop happening.
Okay.
But because men somewhere along the line lost their backbone, they don't stand up for what's right. Oh, wow. And that's really unfortunate, and I'm glad that you're not one of those guys.
That's why you like me and you want to jump on my bones every day.
Oh my God, Sam! I can't.
Oh, man. Oh, man. We don't live in fear here. And we trade the charts. We spread positivity. We do not use profanity. We're family friendly here all the time. You know what I mean? Someone said he just got liquidated. Why are you going so hard, bro? You know what I mean? Like, why are you going so hard? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. A lot of people feel like they have to risk it all for the biscuit. Look, I'm a multimillionaire down 289 and you're getting liquidated. Let's get real, man. Like, come on. You got to have a sense of what you're doing. Look, and there was a head and shoulder there. But I'm looking at the bigger picture. Like, look, if we delete everything and we look at the bigger picture, which is the 1 hour, the 2 hour time frame. Let me look at my 2 hour here. I'll look at Bitcoin on, like, you know, MEXC. I'll delete everything I got cooking. And I'm just going to look at it on the 2 hour. You know, nothing has really changed for me. We're still inside the bull. We're still inside this kind of cup and end. We could still make an inverted head and shoulder. Like, nothing has changed. Small time frame people have gotten annihilated, but I told you to stay off the small time frames. You're not going to listen to me. I get it. And, this is still intact. At the same time, it is an ascending triangle that could go either way. Okay? Anyway, I got to jump. Master Friend's going to hook you up. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. God bless everyone. I love you all. Thank you for hooking it up and being here on the stream. We'll be back tomorrow at the regular time. God willing, at the regular time. I love you. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, you can, you will, you are the best. Be great, everyone. Believe in yourselves. Believe in God. Spread light, love, and positivity throughout the world. I love you.
Spread your love.